All right, we're recording.
Hi, Professor.
The good thing is we're within a couple of weeks of the end here, huh?
Yeah.
Fresh air.
The bad thing is our describe the study has to be like two paragraphs with a graph, so that doesn't sound fun.
Well, I think the graph we can just pull off the
That's true. Yeah.
the Excels we've been doing, so that should go pretty quick, to be honest with you.
I was thinking it might be a good idea. I know we're trying to get the quiz here, but if we just make another Google Doc and then we can just work on it, and because then everyone will have it and we won't have to email it out or anything.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Sure.
I know I'm the primary writer, but you guys can be primary editors. Okay. You guys ready to go?
Yeah, just pulling up the spreadsheet.
Oh, good. It looks like 2/3 of the quiz is going to be vocabulary and multiple choice stuff. What up? That's awesome.
Cool. All right, let's do this. I'm ready.
Cool. Starting it off with question number 3. The correlation coefficient is used to quantify. Probably should have read the question before jumping in so eagerly.
Number in the textbook, if you guys have it up, it's 2.1.3 has the answer. It says correlation coefficient is a number that is used to measure the direction and strength of a linear association between two variables. Is that a choice?
The direction and strength of the linear relationship is C, yeah.
Well, I think that's probably it then. I just did a control F on correlation coefficient. That was the first thing that popped up. So
there you go. And okay, the next one is if the correlation coefficient is negative when one variable increases, I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's the other variable tends to decrease.
Yep, I just found that one too. Pretty surefire answer, I guess.
So number 5, the effect of outliers on the correlation coefficient is not significant.
I want to say it is significant.
We'll find out.
I think it is significant because if you look on 2.2.2 effective outliers, there'll be like a positive, looking graph, and then there's one outlier but that one outlier makes it all negative. And then the same is also true where it's going down in a negative light, but then the one positive makes it a positive correlation.
Yeah, if you look at right below, it says answer the following question. What can you say about the effect of outliers on the correlation? If you show the answer, it says outliers could dramatically affect the value of the correlation coefficient. It is possible that one outlier to change a correlation coefficient from a strong positive value to a negative value. It is positive for one outlier to change uncorrelated data to a data set that has a very high correlation. So I think you're right.
So
it's an exponential influence, especially when you consider it in the form of something like a trend line. So, I mean, when you have a scatter plot of data, you draw your trend line or whatever, even just one outlier, especially on the ends, can throw off that trend line so wildly, especially the further out the data is spread, the larger variance it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next one we need the Old Faithful data. Input the correlation coefficient.
Which Excel sheet tool are we using?
The quantitative inference procedures.
And it's the linear regression tab.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the correlation coefficient is represented by the letter R, right? The lowercase r.
That's what I thought it was, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I got 0.901.
That's what I got as well.
Cool.
I think the hard part about that is just making sure you have the right data in the right spot.
Mm-hmm. So then it says, what is the direction and strength between weight and duration? And I think it's definitely positive, and I would assume it's not strong because that's a straight line, so it's probably the weak one, right?
Does a straight line mean it's not strong? Because how aggressive
No,
that
that means
slope is could consider this to be strong.
I'm just looking at the, yeah, you're right. I'm just looking here at the pictures in the book, and the 1.00, which is the max, is straight line, but that doesn't mean that this couldn't be strong also. So yeah, let's go with that then, strong. What do you think, Eric?
Well, I think the R value gives us a hint that it's strong, right?
That's true, yeah. 0.9.
Just making sure I understand. So if I say something bad here,
No,
freak
that
through
was,
and slap me. But I would think the 0.901 helps us to realize that it's strong, because on the, the video he showed that if the closer to 0 it is, the weaker it is. And the closer to 1 or -1 it is, the stronger it is. So yeah, sorry, just talking out loud there. So I think it is the strong, the positive and strong. C.
Yeah.
Okay. And then see this one, the question 8 kind of is right along those same lines.
Yeah, this is a
because
fun one.
so number 1 is +1, right? The answer.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Then the -1 is
Number 4.
number 4.
Yeah.
So that would make number 2 would be the 0.95,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, because it's closer. Yeah.
And then the -0.95 would be number 5.
Yep.
Then 0 is C, or number 3.
Yeah, because it's all over the board. Yeah.
And then the last one is, I think, 6. So 0.6 is probably 6. You guys agree?
Yep. I agree.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay.
So just to recap, we've got 5 is the first one, 1 is the second one, 6 is the third one, 3 as the fourth one, 4 as the fifth one, and 2 as the sixth one.
Yeah, I totally got confused by that. I was going off of the numbers on the right: 3, 4, 2, 5, 6, 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my numbers might be different, but I mean, just like in a different order, but could be wrong.
So then let's do it this way. So for the -0.95, we have the graph 5, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then R equals 1 is 1.
Yep.
Okay, and then R equals -0.6, we have as number 6.
Mm-hmm.
and then r equals 0 is 3.
Yep.
Right? R equals -1 is 4. And r equals 0.95 is 2. Those sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sorry. I'd be the one to screw that up and just put some bad information in there.
Okay. So for the next two questions, take the math self-efficiency data file and compute the correlation coefficient of score and confidence. I have a question though. So when do we need to order these data points? Like, I think on the it says variable x and variable y. Do we? Because I've been putting them in the order that it says in the question. So like score and confidence. So it's like first and second. Is that how you guys have been doing it?
Yeah.
Does it
See,
matter?
this one's weird because it has a male and female tab.
Yeah.
So are we just assuming they're all the same even though?
It doesn't ask us to separate the values at all. It just says compute the correlation coefficient of score and confidence. So I'm guessing score and confidence are the only two variables we need.
Okay. Good, because I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, here these numbers are different.
I mean, he uses a lot of the same data files for other questions and things like that as well. So in a different test or some other assignment, I'm sure that there is some reason why male and female are listed separately.
Right.
That's a good point. It's all the same.
On the final exam, he'll probably just give us the data and say run it 4 different ways or something crazy like that.
It's not cumulative, is it?
I don't know. Each of the exams to this point have questions from previous exams on it.
That's true.
That's what I've noticed.
So I'm afraid it's going to be, but I don't know. I'm hoping he'll say, okay, we can throw out the lowest test score. And I'll just not take it at all, you know, but I don't know.
Let's see. The bailout calculator tells me as long as I get 85s in homework, 90% in preparation, I can get a 75 on the final project and a 25 on the last exam, and I'm good.
Nice.
Hey, are you trying to email that to us? Because then we can figure it out.
By all means, I'll send it to you. It's just an Excel file.
That would be amazing.
Sweet, yeah.
So I mean, based off of your logic, Eric, the correlation is 0.728, right? Is that what you guys got?
0.7. Yep, that's what I got.
Yep.
0.728.
So that means it would be positive and strong as well, right? Because it's closer.
Yeah.
But would it be weak because of the spread of the data points? They're not nearly as condensed as last time. Same way the graphs that we rated before, the difference between graph A and graph B, 1 and 2.
Well, it doesn't go weak until we get really close to 0.
All right, positive and strong, yes.
Because if one of these answers were moderate, I would maybe even think that. But since it's either strong or weak, I think we're good to put positive and strong.
Well, I'll be the lame duck this time and take one for everyone. 100%. It's good to be the lame duck on the one we know we're going to get 100 on.
Yeah.
No, I'm just...
Sweet.
So we gotten any feedback at all on the project thus far?
I haven't seen anything.
Not on the collect the data part.
This is the phase in the semester where I get really impatient about grades.
And then it takes them like 2 weeks after the semester to get everything posted, and you're like, come on.
Yeah.
Do it.
So why I ask, like, so what happens if I had to go to the graduation ceremony and things, and like just some weird cosmic coincidence happens with my grades, and I fail a class? As I recall, the chat agent's just like, "Oh, looks like you celebrate graduation a little bit earlier than you're supposed to." That's it.
Yeah, they actually just they just send you your diploma because you can walk before you graduate, even if you have a few classes left.
Yep.
But they just won't send you your diploma until you pass. But you can have the whole shebang. Just won't get the diploma, the paper until later.
That just seems so anticlimactic.
Yes, it does.
All right. Should we talk a little bit about our project, or because I haven't even run any data or anything. We were talking about that, Eric, before you came.
Oh, okay.
If we'd even put the data in the for our project to see what we have, or like what the thing is showing us. But I mean, we could do that, or we can just run a Google Doc and just do it later. But I'd rather get it done sooner because I have a huge week this week.
And we were doing a one sample test. Which one were we doing of the tests? Do you remember? Sorry, I gotta look it up.
You know, I don't remember. That's why I was gonna ask somebody to enlighten me on which test I needed to pull the data from.
Yeah, hold on. I just got the thing up here. Let's see. So one sample sigma unknown.
So that's one sample t-test for means, right?
Yep.
So that's on the same spreadsheet we've been using.
Yeah. And really, all we need to do is drop the data in there.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to find where I have the data here. Okay, so it looks like okay, so it looks like the mean is 2.987. So it's like I don't know what the difference is, but pretty significant difference.
Yeah.
70 cents. I was curious though, what's going to be our action? What action are we taking off of this?
I've been thinking about that. Is he gonna get mad if we say buy more milk in Idaho or something like that?
Consider, if spending an extra 70 cents on milk is an important thing to you, then potentially consider moving to Idaho. I don't know. Or staying in Idaho.
Right.
I'm surprised
Something
that we
like
have
that.
to draw an inference or some action from all of this.
Yeah, that's actually like 25 points of the project, so.
Weird.
But I don't know. Then again, he might be like, oh, that's not good enough. It's like, oh, what would be good enough? I don't know. Maybe I should network with a UVU student on LinkedIn and see if they know anything about this project. What do you guys think?
Somebody that's already taken it. That's awesome.
I mean, well, let's think about different options, though. Like, what could we even write about that? I mean, that's not this week, so I guess maybe we should just put it off. But it's just an interesting thing to consider, I guess. But
It is.
so for this assignment, it just says, in no more than 2 pages, describe the data you collected. Summarize your data in 2 to 3 paragraphs using summary statistics as well as other descriptions useful to providing an overall picture of your data. Include a well-labeled graph appropriate for your data. Your graph should help the reader visualize your data and should be clearly labeled. So actually on this one, this particular test, it doesn't look like there is a graph. So not really sure what kind of graph to make for that.
Well, we can actually drop the data into.
The first one.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
It'll at least give us the
histogram or whatever.
exactly. That's my thought.
Okay, then it says your graph should help the reader visualize your data and should be clearly labeled. Your document will be evaluated on accuracy and helpfulness of the concepts and summary statistics you choose to include in your write-up. Have we even learned about summary statistics? Are we supposed to? Okay, it says also be sure to your paragraphs include a topic sentence, 4 to 5 supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. Your paragraph should be well written, clear, concise, and easy to follow. Be sure your grammar, sentence structure, and spelling are all correct. Your graphs will be evaluated on how well they help your audience to visualize your data. Graphs will be evaluated on helpful and accurate labeling. So, is there any ideas on this anyone has?
I just got the data in there. You think you got a mean of 2.987? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Excuse me.
It seems so foreign to have to create some sort of action item at the end for what to do with the results. I'm so used to calculating things and deriving certain math points just because I'm told to, not because I actually have any interest in what to do with it.
Well, and regardless, even if we came out with the answer that it was expensive to buy milk in Idaho, we're still kind of hosed with it. You know, it's not like we're going to drive out of state to buy milk.
Yeah. I mean, by all means, we can just go absolutely off the rails with it and suggest really crazy ideas like that. Like, based on our findings, the milk is cheaper in Idaho. We suggest that everyone in the U.S. should drive to Idaho to buy milk.
Well, I was thinking we could do we suggest we start a business selling the milk from Idaho to other states.
There you go.
You know, if you could keep the price of shipping down, you could make some cashola.
The things you guys are saying just sound exactly like MSNBC in my head, but there's a lot of statistics. Nothing ever makes sense, but they make it make sense somehow, and I'm like, you guys are dumb. Okay, but
it all comes
anyways,
together.
Yeah.
Back to Fox or wherever else, which is also dumb, and everywhere else is dumb too. But
whatever. It's all fake news, according to the president, right?
Yep, exactly right. So
I think if we summarize the data, we just talk about what we found. You know, and maybe point out any outliers. Like I think I saw that one of them was. I mean, I took my son to keep it, you know, impartial from what I picked. I mean, he picked one of the organic gallons of milk, and it was like $5.88. I was like, "Whew, Dad's not buying that one," you know.
yeah. So yeah, I don't even really know where to like. I mean, he posted a video on there that says like, watch this because it's really important for the thing. So I might end up watching that. Try to watch it before our next meeting and slap something, the bare bones of something together, and then we can kind of collaborate a little more next time if you want.
Well, maybe what we do tonight is Michael, if you want to put together a document in the folder, and then we'll have something we can go back to, and if we all watch that, then we can definitely put some thoughts down on that paper. Because I started it before the meeting, but I don't kind of scared me because he's talking to a lady who's already submitted a bunch of information for her project. I'm like, dang, we're not that far. Is she just an overachiever or are we behind? So, and I think she's an overachiever. She's got that kind of.
I'll see who it is on the video because there's always one lady on the video, and I'm like, stop coming to office hour.
I know. You ask him questions and it takes an hour to get through it,
Yeah. But then again, if that one lady didn't come to office hour, we'd all be hosed because he never posted. He won't post if nobody comes, but it's in the middle of the day when no one can.
Right.
Except for UVU students. You probably see UVU students all over there.
Making one of the Google Docs now. Hang on.
Thanks, Michael. Well, the good thing is, like I said, of all the videos I've ever posted, I think the average view time is like 3.5 minutes.
So, Michael, with this, while you're putting that together, with this thing you sent us, the grade thing, we just type in all of our grades that we've gotten, and then the average is shown in A5 that we get.
Yeah, so in the earned column, under homework, preparation, final project exams, just fill in the grades exactly as they appear in the grade book. So when you get a 10 out of 10, you just replace the equation that's, say, for example, in C5. You would just replace that equation with whatever score you got. And then the 4 toggle cells, the input cells on the left column, are just there for anything remaining that you haven't been given a grade on. You can change those cells in the equation. We'll do the rest.
Okay.
So, for example, hang on.
So yeah, basically you can put in like hypotheticals, and then it will just show you the assumed score if you got that grade, right?
Yeah, I can show you mine real quick in progress. I color coded it because that was easier for me to remember. The things that I shaded in green were the things that I have already received a grade for, so that I don't circle back and like, did I get a grade or whatever. So all those are the actual scores that I received, and then this is not. Thing in red has yet to be graded, still working on that. And I can flip this around and say if I do 0 homework and 0 preparation from now on, and I just blow off the rest of the final project, I'm going to have to get A5 be a 70. I would... All right.
Keeps going up.
Apparently I need to get a 93, 94 on the final exam. Yeah, 94.5 on the final exam. But I could just not do anything else for the rest of the course, and as long as I get a 95 or a 94.5, I'd be set. And I can just play around with those numbers that way. But it starts by this earned column being filled out from whatever you've got in your own particular grade book.
Okay. Thanks.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Just something handy.
Okay, so we have this describe the data document now. I don't know. I guess our next mission should just be to watch that video and figure out like what he's looking for us to describe our data, and then
Right.
That sounds an awful lot like actually attending office hours. I have a sworn commitment not to do that. Wasn't part of my grade.
Well, it might make it so your final exam even has less of a score that you have to get. So
yeah, there you go. Make no mistake, my bailout calculator isn't designed like, all right, just got to get a 25 on the exam. That's all I have to do. I'll do what I can, but it definitely alleviates some of the pressure.
right.
All right, there you go.
'Cause then-
Final project.
Then you
Instructions
don't
are
feel
up in the
bad
doc.
if you get like a 50 or something.
Yeah.
Still twice as good, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely helped me breathe a little bit easier, like having one of those sheets for each of my 4 courses, because I was wigging out like every other day about a month ago, wondering like, all right, well, what happens when I nerf this semester? I'm supposed to be graduating. Like, how does this work? And putting all the numbers down on a sheet somewhere and figuring out it's not nearly as high stress as I was imagining. It helps.
Does anyone remember what that very first spreadsheet we used was called?
Yeah, it was called.
Is it the descriptive? No. Is it the descriptive statistics?
Yeah. Hold on, let me open it. Yes, that's the one. Histogram and quantitative descriptive statistics. Holy smokes.
Do you think that would be adequate, like to use as our for
Well,
our graph or whatever?
The thing I saw, and you'll see it if you watch the video, the graph the lady sent him an email is this graph right here
Okay.
from this page. So I haven't watched it enough to see if he says this is the one or this isn't the one, but it's there. So hopefully he'll actually communicate about it, and that might take care of it. But yeah, the QQ plots is the next one. So I think we can use all the data, and because she puts the QQ plot up there as well. So I think we're on the right page here.
Mm. For some reason it's not letting me post the graph I just made in here.
Just posted one.
What?
Is that what yours look like?
Yeah. How did you do it? I know it's just Control C, right, or something.
Yeah, Control C copies it, and then I just hit Control V, and it pasted it in.
So weird.
I worry that picking great value or having so many great value samples has thrown that off.
Well, we can talk about it when you describe the data.
Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. We only got 3 in there, right? Or am I missing some?
Can we just do the Thursday group quiz now and get it over with? I just want to be done.
So do we all want to just, watch that video and then figure it out from there? Or do we want to work on it now? Because I don't really know what to write about or anything.
Well, I think we need to watch that video. I think it's going to clarify quite a bit for us.
Begrudgingly, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just do that, and then we can collaborate more on Thursday.
So I've got the QQ plot here that I'll just paste in after this. You guys can see if it matches.
Do you think we should label, at some point we'll have to label the graphs more because he wrote it like 7 times in this intro that it has to be clearly labeled and understandable.
As
Yeah,
far as
I think we will.
presentation, you can leave that to me. Like, I can format graphs and data points and things to make sure
Yeah,
that it's up to
You
par.
work for Geek Squad. We usually call you to do this stuff anyway, so.
Yeah, that's what I do.
But yeah, I really don't know. Like, what's our decision going to be? Like, you know, potentially consider staying in Idaho if this is a big deal for you or something.
If milk
Right.
is the deal breaker, if the price of milk is the deal breaker, then you should stay in Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
The inference could be that there's more dairy cows, and so transporting, you know, milk is
Cheaper to-
cheaper, and so the prices are cheaper.
Well, you know what? I have a couple dairy farmers in my ward. I could ask them, see if they've got any ideas on it.
So, what action should we take if we're comparing the
Yeah.
milk prices to the national average?
Man, I wish I had known that like there was going to be some action required when we chose the study. I should have read ahead.
Yeah.
No
Who
worries.
bases any decision on other than like which gallon to buy? Who bases any decision other than that on the price of milk versus national average?
Well, that's just it because I've never noticed the difference between like Walmart brand, like it's always the same Walmart brand is, so I don't know. I mean, the prices are fairly similar, I should say, around the country, and so it's not like I'm gonna live in Idaho just because Walmart has lower prices of milk, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's pretty low everywhere.
The interesting thing for me at Winco when we were there, the milk was on sale. It was like $1.70 a gallon. So I bought 4 gallons, but didn't take that and put that in the data because it was on sale. So
Yeah.
Huh. Well, we
let's do
can
this.
draw some conclusions from everyday low price strategy and sensationalism and price similarities.
Well, I say we watch this video, and then Thursday when we get together, we can get through the quiz real quick and then hammer it real hard Thursday. What do you guys think?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Should we meet at 4:30 again?
I'm good with that.
What
Sure.
time in the evening? I mean, I don't know. But
All right, 4:30 Thursday. See you, everybody.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
I'll
See you guys.